How's me angle and stuff? Is that we got a
Yeah.
space and that?
All
Yeah.
good.
Cool.
We are recording, so whenever you're good to go.
Okay, all right, let's do it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the preview for the game against Leicester City at Old Trafford. And there's currently a helicopter going over.
I thought it was the motorbike. I thought it was
No, not the motorbike today. It's the
Oh.
helicopter that's decided
Okay.
to ruin my intro. So, yeah, we continue and we move. Look,
keeping
Ruud
that
Van
in.
Nistelrooy. Oh, yeah, we'll keep it in. We'll keep it in. Ruud Van Nistelrooy will take the hot seat only for one game if reports are true. Apparently, Amorim's going to be in on Sunday against Chelsea, which would be interesting. But he's got one game, Sam. What changes in your mind going into this one?
I don't see much changing, to be fair, if I'm honest. I think you will see a similar setup, similar lineup. Because obviously he was involved with the coaching with Ten Hag, Rene Hake, and they were all the things. I don't see too drastic changes, too much. Maybe the players will play a little bit better. Maybe you'll see a bit of a bounce because it's Ruud Van Nistelrooy, he's a legend, great finisher, like won a lot of stuff. So maybe they respect him a bit more. But I wouldn't see like there's not going to be a tactical revolution or a tactical difference like there will be when Amorim comes in. I imagine. I think it'll be pretty standard fare.
Do you reckon because there's so much focus on this Ten Hag situation that he's gone and there's Amorim coming in, do you reckon there's a risk actually that they might take the eye off the ball a little bit? Because that's clouding a lot of things at the moment, isn't there? Obviously they'll say we're focused on this game, we're we're going to do this, whatever. But it's Leicester and the Carabao. I'm just saying there might be a bit of focus taken away. Do you feel?
Yeah, and if it's going to be any sort of game where, excuse me,
where they sneeze.
Sorry.
Sneeze Cooper.
Sneeze Cooper. If there was a game where you were like, I'm not too arsed about it, this is probably it, innit? Leicester in a Carabao Cup. Are we that bothered? Yeah, you want United to win every single game, but the Carabao Cup is the least important thing. Like the important game is the Sunday game against Chelsea. Like that's the important game. So I could well see it not turning out well tomorrow. However, Leicester are quite a poor team, I would say. So with the quality we have, we should be beating them. But again, how many times have we said that against teams? So again, I have zero idea what is going to happen tomorrow. Like I'm literally just taking a shot in the dark and just seeing what happens because I've got zero idea what to expect.
Well, if Ruud's got one game and it's like, right, Ruud, this is our fixtures over the next month. Which one? If you got this luxury, which no manager ever does, but if you got the luxury, which one do you want to pick? It's probably Leicester at home or POAK at home, innit?
Yeah, that's the two. Yeah.
So in reality, I mean, what have you got to lose as a coach? You've got one fucking game in charge. You don't know what's going to happen in the near future because Amorim might, want to bring in a certain set of coaches or what have you. So, just fucking go for it, set up the way you want. I know there's a trophy at stake or what have you, but it's the Carabao. It's probably the worst ranked trophy in it out of the FA Cup, Europa, etc. So, I don't know. I think it's got kind of a bit of free reign, to be honest. I'm a little bit excited about it because I think the reception that he's going to get as well, you imagine the fans are going to be bouncing in it.
Yeah. No, the Ruud's going to get everything behind him with the fans. Like, obviously, legend. I think when he came back the first time, the Old Trafford game, they were chanting him, and he went over to applaud them and stuff. So, yeah, they'll be right behind him and give him everything possible and support and be that 12th man, if possible, to give him whatever it takes to get over the line. But, yeah, it's hard to get excited because we're kind of in a limbo at the minute, aren't we, with Manchester United? Ten Hag is gone. From what reports say, Amorim will be in by the weekend. So this is just sort of this period where you're like, yes, we've got a game, but this is not how United are going to be for the next however long. Like Amorim's going to change quite a lot. So this is like a really small microcosm of like a week where it's just like this is only going to exist for now, and then after that, who knows what happens.
Yeah, I like you. I feel like I'm in limbo. I don't know how to feel. Thoughts. I feel like they're getting this deal with Amorim done quickly, which we're obviously not used to either. We're used to it dragging on for a bit. Likewise with players. So the fact that you get him in this week, mid-season, I know there's a compensation package kind of involved, but I'm sure even he'll have one eye on United. I know they play tonight against Nacional in the Portuguese league.
There was a report. One of 3 of United's like backroom are going over tonight to sort of finalize everything, and then it's possible that he could fly to Manchester on like Friday and stuff and do all the media. So
Yeah, this is very interesting. But yeah, I feel like I'm in limbo. I don't know what to expect. You would expect. You usually have. It's called a manager bounce for a reason, because they bounce back in form, and it typically happens with the majority of new managers come in, because the players feel like they have a lease of life, don't they? They feel like it's different. We've had all the reports coming out today. We're in that period, aren't we, at the moment, where it's kind of like slagging the manager off a little bit, and all the reports.
Everything that
out.
happened, it's his fault. That's what. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he fell out with Wilcox. Apparently, there was a breakdown of relationship
Ronaldo, Sancho,
Ronaldo. Apparently, he was training players twice as hard when he was knackered, and all this kind of stuff. So, look, I don't like it when that kind of stuff comes out. I prefer to remember the good memories. He's moved on. The decision's been made now. Let's just focus on this going forward.
Be respectful. Like all these people going, he's a fraud. He's a bald fraud. Fucking arrogant. But like, let's just be respectful, man. The guy's lost his job. It didn't work out. We had some great memories, some great moments on there. Let's not pretend that we didn't. And it wasn't all bad. So let's respect him, thank him, and like you said, move on. And also, not just the manager bounce for Ruud. You got to think certain players are going to be thinking, well, I need to impress in this game because the new manager's coming in. He's probably going to watch this game and analyze it and look. So I need to sort of try and hedge my bets getting into his team when he comes in as well. So you got to think about that.
I have an idea of a couple, like 3 or 4 individuals who I think are going to really light up under Amorim, but I'll save that for the video that I'm doing. Bringing it back to the Carabao Cup slightly, how do you feel about it as a tournament trophy? What have you? Because it's, like I said, it is the 4th. It's probably the worst one to win, but we have won it before, and the memories that we was quite literally just touching on. Ten Hag provided one of those in the Carabao Cup final.
It's a nice trophy to win. You're never going to turn your nose down at trophies. Like all these people say, it's a tin pot trophy. Clubs like Newcastle were dying to win that. Like they haven't won a trophy in fucking years.
Press conference today.
What has he said?
When he got asked about Ten Hag, and he was like, "Well, everyone's telling me I should win a trophy, and Ten Hag's been sacked, and not in that quite way, but he was like, everyone's telling me. So if I did the same thing at Tottenham, would it be the same way?"
Exactly. But that's the standard of United, isn't it? Like a Carabao Cup and FA Cup's not good enough at United. You have to win titles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas at Newcastle, if Eddie Howe would have beat us in that Carabao Cup, he's probably a legend forever in Newcastle, isn't he? It's the first
56
trophy.
6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if, say, Ange delivers a trophy for Spurs, he's going to be a legend because the last thing what was it? The League Cup under Poch? That's the last thing we won.
2009,
yeah.
Was it, I think.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, some teams never win trophies. Never. So, to turn your nose up at a trophy, I think, is a bit of a thing because only a few select actually win one. But in terms of United, we need to be aiming higher. But I'm not going to say, tank it and don't try and win it because obviously I want to win it. I want to win everything. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. It is the sort of least priority. The Europa League should be the priority. The Europa League and the league position, there's got to be a priority this season, I think.
But I don't know what is realistic now, to be honest. Because when Ollie came in, I can't remember where I know it kind of teetered off towards the end, but he won. I don't know how many games in a row. Was it 12 or something?
14. I think 14.
I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen. But because we've been so poor, I genuinely now with this season, it is really limbo, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a recurring theme. I just don't know what's going to happen. We could end up winning the trophy.
Like you said, though, like before the game of the weekend against West Ham, we were 5 points off Arsenal. So 3 point a win with 2 points. The thing they drew against Liverpool, didn't they? So it's like you could have been very, very close, but then you lost. So similar thing could happen. Amorim could come in. Goes on a 10-game winning streak. We rack up the points. A couple of teams around us drop points, and you're back in contention. So you never know.
And then on the flip side, we could lose against Chelsea and go 9 points behind them, and then you got a big mountain to climb. So, we are in a mixed bag at the moment. I want to discuss Leicester a little bit. Only 2 points behind us in the league, believe it or not. Good old Sneeze Cooper is starting to pick up a couple results, but like you said at the start of the show, they have been relatively poor. They concede quite a lot of goals. They've been a mixed bag in games. I mean, the Southampton one recently, they went 2 behind and had to bring it back. But we always have that threat, don't we, of Jamie Vardy. You've got Buonanotte as well, who's a top player for them. Ndidi, very experienced. With the quality we have, we should, quote unquote, be beating them, though.
We've said that so many times this season.
I know. I'm almost saying it, but it's like...
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, look at their sort of attacking line and you go, Vardy's experience, he's got some stuff in there. Whether or not he's got like a thing about him, but 37-year-old Jamie Vardy, who's way past his best, and he's probably going to retire at some point soon. Like, I don't see how he can keep going the way he plays as well. Like the quickness.
He's the Premier League though, isn't he,
Yeah,
Vardy?
yeah,
Like, do you know when he's one of those kind of cult heroes,
well,
isn't
he had that record, didn't he? The goals in a row, the games in a row.
11.
Scored, yeah. Like, so
Yeah.
it's nothing to sniff about. He won a Premier League title. Like, you can't sniff at that.
I'm going to ask you about Vardy in a moment, actually, because
Yeah.
I think you need to have a conversation about it. But
So you look at that, and then you look at Garnacho, you look at Rashford, you look at Højlund, Bruno, and you think, yeah, we should be putting these to the sword. But as we've seen, we cannot finish chances. We dominated West Ham for 45 minutes. Absolutely, they looked like shit, and we were absolutely dominating that game. Couldn't put it away. Came out second half. West Ham, a bit of belief, bit of faith, came at us, and we ended up losing the game, eventually. And I think that could well happen against Leicester. We could look really, really good in the first half, dominate, just not put our chances away. We come out, ball goes in over the top, Jamie Vardy, bang, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could well happen that way. You could see that happening.
Do you feel like they've got enough to stay up, Leicester? Because there was that initial concern, wasn't there, with the points deductions, but they found a loophole for that, so I don't think that still stands. I think that's just basically been dusted. Currently 5 points above relegation, but you expect teams like Wolves to, a bit of an upturn in form and stuff. Do you think they'll stay up?
It's possibility. I think Southampton and Ipswich are the ones who look like they're going to be cut adrift at this rate, don't they? Like Southampton, I think they're done. I don't see them going back.
Doomed for sure. I think they're kind of guaranteed to go down.
Ipswich play really good football, but they're just not getting the results, are they?
Like,
they're just not getting the results, so they could struggle. And then that third spot, there's a couple of teams in there, like Everton could be dragged in there. Like I said, Wolves are doing poorly. Leicester. There could be a couple of teams who get dragged into that, and you never know who could get pulled out. I wouldn't surprise me if they stayed up. It wouldn't. However, they're probably among the favourites of those other teams I just mentioned to be included in that relegation fight. I think Ipswich have got a lot to do, and I think Southampton are done. I don't think they're coming back.
Well, if you look at it, Crystal Palace are on 6 points at the minute, and then
they're struggling as well.
They were 10th, are on 12 points. So there's 6 points basically between mid-table and the bottom, near enough. That's how quickly it can turn. You get a couple of wins, and it's like, you're back up there again.
Well, Palace won at the weekend as well, didn't they? Like,
they were
Spurs,
poor.
They were really poor this season, and then they've beaten Spurs. So that's all it takes sometimes. A couple of wins, and like you said, you're up the table.
We was talking about Jamie Vardy then. I want to bring it back to him actually, because I had a little section on him. I think he deserves it for what he's done in the Premier League and in his career in general, actually. Yeah. Where would he rank amongst Premier League strikers? Because I was having a look at his record before. 140 goals in the Premier League alone, which is crazy. Good. Premier League winner, like you touched on. Golden Boot in the 1920 season. Scored more goals than Nicholas Anelka, Robbie Keane, and Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, they had the record as well for goals scored in a game, like per game, 11 games. So decent striker, man. Like, really good striker. He's probably going to go under the radar as underrated, isn't he? He's probably going to be one of those guys. Like, he's not going to be mentioned with the likes of Aguero, Wayne Rooney, that kind of level. Like, he's not going to be put in that conversation. But it's probably on a tier below that, I'd say. Like, Arsenal tried to comfort him after the Premier League win, didn't they? Arsenal came for him, and he turned them down, apparently. He wanted to stay at Leicester, so credit to him.
And he's gone down with them, and then they've come back up as well.
So fair play to him. Fair play to him, like, for doing that, sticking with loyalty to his team. So, yeah, he's probably on that tier below. Like, there's a couple of, like, one-season wonders who you remember fondly. Like, you remember Michu, who played for Swansea?
Oh, yeah, Swansea.
20 goals and stuff like that. So,
celebration.
And there's a couple of guys there. But Jamie Vardy's probably above those guys, but he's not in the Wayne Rooney, Aguero, Thierry Henry level. He's not at that level, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, but he was a killer, wasn't he? Like, especially those kind
balling behind. Balling behind. There's nobody better. There's nobody better.
Yeah. And even though, like you said, he is 36, 37, what he is now, it's still that worry in the back of your mind, and it's slightly at Old Trafford. It will be pushing onto them. There'll be that space in behind, and they'll relish in it because it's a shit house. But he's Leicester's shit house, and he's probably their greatest ever player, to be honest. I think that's fair to say. So, yeah, just the last thing on Leicester. Where do you think they'll be looking to hurt us? Because obviously that West Ham game was an example of, like, listen, if we can frustrate them the first 45, that second half is where they can, start to hit us with players like Vardy.
We have to take the chances, don't we, in the first half? If we come out and play like we did against West Ham, we have to be clinical. 2, 3 goals, whatever it takes. Just get the ball in the back of the fucking net and just kill the game off before that. Because if we don't, like you said, it's going to be where we get hurt. We're going to be looking for that goal in the second half. We're going to be pushing up. We're going to be desperate, scrambling, and the fullbacks are going to commit. The centre backs are going to step up, and then all it takes, like I said, Buenanote ball over the top between the centre backs, and Jamie Vardy's on it like a fucking rabbit, and that might be it. Because you know what he's like when he's 1-on-1 with a goalie. There's not many people who are that good. He is that good. Like, he can put it away. So that's where you've got to worry, especially if it gets towards the last stage of the second half. So it's 70, 80 minutes. And then it's just, they're just going to hang on to that then. They're just going to be like, yeah, cool, we're going to sit back. And then you've got to try and break them down. So we need to kill them off early. Like we did the way we came out of West Ham, that's the way we need to come out. But we need to put the ball in the back of the net. Have to.
I couldn't believe that first half, the chances that were missed. Dalot's, Garnacho, Bruno's header, Casemiro, the save from Fabianski. We hit the bar a couple of times. I'm just like, oh my God, there's just something around that net that does not want the fucking ball to go in it. Yeah. It's just strange.
Well, we're at home, aren't we, tomorrow? So hopefully, with it being at home, maybe the ball gets sucked into the back of the net.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I'm not positive, as I'm sure you're not either. Who are the ones to watch in this game for you, Sam?
Obviously, Jamie Vardy's a worry. Like, he's always going to be a worry. I think that goes without saying. We've mentioned Buenanote as well. I think he's got some sort of talent with him. For United, I think Garnacho. I think his pace and the way he works against West Ham. I think he gives a lot and he works his fucking ass off. But he needs to start being better with his decision making and start being better with his shots and stuff like that. Because, like you, if I had hair on my head, I'd be tearing it out with sometimes his decision making, which really frustrates me. And then give the ball to Højlund. I think if you can give the ball to Højlund, I think you can score a couple of goals here and he can get things. He's just not getting enough of the ball to get shots away. I think he got like one shot against West Ham, didn't he? It's like, it's just not enough. He needs more opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net because I think he will score. So I'd say those two are going to be key for United. Yeah,
Højlund is the one I had because I just had the feeling you've got the Ruud narrative, striker, Højlund. I just think he's going to get a goal. So I'd agree with those assessments. Right, 5 quick fire questions before we get into the predicted 11s. Will Ruud, I think we kind of touched on it, but will he get a kind of raucous atmosphere, if you will?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. How many changes do you expect to see, if any?
Maybe 1 or 2. I don't think many changes, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say 1 or 2. Will Jamie Vardy score?
Probably.
Yeah. Will we win a trophy this season?
My gut says no.
I also think no. I think we're done. And prediction for man of the match?
I don't want to say Onana.
No, I don't think Onana. I know we've been bad, but
Eriksen.
I think they're different. Eriksen's a good shout. Yeah. I'll go Bruno. I thought he was good against West Ham. Should have had a couple of assists at least. Right, who wants to go predict 11s first, me or you?
I think we've got the same one, so you talk us through mine and I'll just chip in.
Okay, so like we said, 1 or 2 tweaks max, potentially. Do you know what I just realised? I put Majari in. Majari's injured, isn't he?
Oh shit! Yeah, you have to.
I just literally realised now. Bollocks. I don't know how serious it is, but it didn't look great, did it, when it went off holding his knee?
Just pick somebody else, and then we'll.
Oh, well, it's going to be. I'm guessing Dalot moves over to right back, Leach moves over to left back, and then it's Evans and De Ligt, potentially, or Lindelof and De Ligt.
Yeah,
I'd say. Again, I don't know if Evans is fit or not, to be fair, so I'll go with Lindelof just as a safer option. Midfield of Ugarte, Eriksen, and Bruno. I think Ugarte will be the change because the fans have been craving it. I almost feel like
had a good game as well against Fenerbahce. Yeah.
I feel like Ruud will play to that kind of violin and be like, we'll throw him in there because what's he got to lose again? And then the front three. If you look at the front three deployed at PSV, he likes attacking wingers. So Rashford and Garnacho I think will start, and then he's got a good relationship with Rasmus as well, hasn't he? So. I think that'll be the front three.
I agree. I think Ugarte's got a bit of change. I was surprised he didn't play against West Ham because I thought he had a really good game.
Well, Casemiro was good, right?
No, he was. He was great.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. I thought Ugarte would get the opportunity against thing, and he didn't. But again, with Amorim coming in, who knows Ugarte very, very well, I'd expect him to start getting minutes under that, and I expect him to start sort of playing games and sort of progressing in this team. So yeah, that'd be the one change I'd make. And I'd agree with you on the back line. It's probably going to be Leach at left back and then Lindelof and De Ligt in the middle.
Against Vardy. That's what I'm like. Creeping up, high line.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. And that's why I think Leicester will score. So score prediction wise, I've gone 3-1 United.
I'll go 2-1 United. I think we will win, but yeah, I think there's gonna be a bit of a wobble with that Jamie Vardy goal, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. And for anyone who's watching, please do get your score prediction in. Give me one key moment that you feel like will happen. As well, do you think Ruud will make big changes or just a couple of tweaks here and there, like me and Sam said? And just any thoughts on the game in general, Ruben Amorim, Ruud's one game spell. Yeah, get it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. This has been the preview for Manchester United versus Leicester in the Carabao Cup. Busy week ahead for Manchester United, so stay locked in, turn on that notification bell, subscribe, and smash a like on the video for us. And me and Sam will see you in a bit.
Peace.